Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel and happy spooky month! Too much? Too much. Probably too much. I'm just super excited because Halloween is my all-time favorite holiday and I am just ready to go. Which is low-key ironic because I'm actually a huge wimp when it comes to really scary stuff, which is why I would dedicate this video at the beginning of October to fears. Now, I'm quite an anxious person, which I think is a little bit of an understatement, honestly. So I just figured that when I was a kid, I was also very, very fearful. But after a quick conversation with my mom, turns out I didn't have that many fears as a kid, which is so strange because I feel like I've got 1,000,003 fears now, but as a kid, it was only a couple of things and I was just fine. So I don't really know what's up with that. This just in, adults are more fearful than children. Adults' brains have developed to the point where they can rationalize why they are afraid of their fear. So more consciousness, more awareness, more rationalization, more fears. Back to you. Okay, well I guess there's an answer for everything. This video would be way too long and honestly a little sad if I went through all of my fears as a 20-something. So let's go through my childhood fears, but they get progressively worse as I go down the list. Costumed characters. First, I need you all to know that I put costumed characters into Google because I wanted some generic photos to put around the perimeter, and a lot of furries came up. And this is not what I was referring to. I wasn't afraid of furries when I was a kid. I didn't really know furries existed. This is not what I meant. And saying that, there was someone I went to high school with who became a furry, but that was after high school, and I guess I was older at that point, and I'm getting really off topic now. But like most kids, I was absolutely terrified of something that walked and moved like a human, but wasn't a human. Some cute TV character come to life wanting to give me a hug, I was screaming. A mascot at a school game, I was hiding behind my parents. Clowns, don't even get me started on clowns. Hell, I still think I'm terrified of clowns. Though I say that as someone who was fully intending to be a clown for Halloween this year, but whatever. But does anybody else remember in like 2016 when there were actual killer clowns roaming the streets? That wasn't a fever dream, that was real. Should we be addressing this more? Anyway, characters. There was this one time my parents took me to New York City and we went to this alien restaurant. There were a bunch of, people dressed up as aliens, and it was the worst hour and a half of my life. I actually feel bad for my mom for how terrified I was at that restaurant. I distinctly remember we were in a booth and I was sunk down in the cushions of the chair, terrified out of my mind, when all of a sudden an alien popped its head over the top of the booth and was looking down at me and waving, and I was so afraid. These poor people in the alien costumes were not paid enough for what I put them through. I'm so sorry, Mom. And to the workers. Dogs. The irony is that I did kind of get over this one because I had a family dog for 15 years, and she was the most perfect, angel, well-behaved dog anyone could have asked for. But I was still very cautious around her. Long story short, there's definitely something wrong with me. But when I was a kid, I was really small. Duh, like most kids are. But most dogs were level to my face, so it was pretty intimidating. And it was one Halloween, I was dressed up in a little, I think, witch costume or something, and we were going around to all the neighbors' houses, knocked on the door, they opened the door, and this gigantic dog comes running out at me. I went screaming, running into my dad's arms, and he did not pick me up, so I was just kind of hanging there on his arms, close to the ground, while his dog is bounding towards me. And now in hindsight, maybe it wasn't as aggressive as I thought, and it was actually just the dog coming out to explore. But to me, as the child, it felt quite aggressive. In my head, I really thought I was in danger. There was no danger to be found. It was perfectly fine. The dog was really nice. I was just terrified. But how do you explain that to a screaming 5-year-old? Monkey bars. Yeah, I don't even have a story for this one. I think I'm just afraid of monkey bars. I never really had like upper body strength. So my biggest fear was that I'd start to do it and then I'd fall and hurt myself. So maybe I just had a fear of falling. This wasn't a case of I'd see monkey bars and start like crying and screaming. It was more I saw them, people were on them, they asked me to go, and I said, no, I'm good. Is that a fear? Because I didn't do it because I was afraid. I think that's a fear. And I can't even test still if I'm still afraid or not because I'm 23. I'm pretty sure I don't have the upper body strength still to complete this task. So, plus I know I have healthcare, but I don't really feel like going to the hospital if I do end up getting hurt. Okay, are we filming? Good. So I think that's a lame excuse. I created this channel so that I'd be able to push myself outside my boundaries and try something new. So I found some monkey bars and I'm gonna do it. This is for 7-year-old Nicole. So I still don't have any arm strength, but I made it pretty far. So I call this a win and my fear has been faced. Toilets. Specifically flushing toilets, I might add, as if that makes it better. No, but I was genuinely afraid of flushing toilets for years. It was years, honestly. I think it took me a scarily long amount of time to get over that fear. And again, there's not even a story to this. Nothing scary happened to me, as if something scary could happen when you're flushing a toilet, but nothing scary happened. I was just so terrified. I think I was just a weird kid, but every time I went to flush the toilet, I literally had to run out of the room. And then once the initial sound stopped, I went back in and washed my hands and stuff. I was mocked unmercifully by my family for years. And then one day, I just got over it. Good story, right? It was just something about the flush that really freaked me out. I wasn't afraid of the toilet. I was afraid of the flushing. I have absolutely no explanation for it, so I give you all this moment to laugh at me. I fully deserve it. I can't have been the only one with some weird childhood fears, so I highly encourage you to write them down in the comments below so we can all commiserate together. Or I guess you can mock me from the comments too, I guess. Because talking about fear is a great way to get ready for Spooky Month. Don't forget to like this video for a month full of spooky activities, pumpkin flavored everything, and jump scares. My last video will be over here-ish, and you can subscribe to me over here, and I will see you all next time. Bye.